let's go ahead and take a look at George Gammon. I mean, you could just take a look. I can tell you, he's with Kitco. He's with these fucking conspiracy nutcases. Okay, that's a whole big audience. I guarantee you, he's teamed up with Robert Kiyosaki as well. This Lynn Alden. It's Raoul Paul. It's too predictable. In fact, take a look. Raoul Paul. No, not Raoul Paul. Peter Schiff. Of course, Peter Schiff. Right. I mean, George Gammon is a fraud. George Gammon, you're a fraud. F-R-A-U-D, you're a fraud. Why? Because you're promoting horseshit people and horseshit lines as a narrative to scare people. That's fraudulent what you're doing. You're not presenting anything that's balanced.
Hello, my name is George Gammon.
And you're a loser. Let's take a look. It's so funny. These guys are so stupid. You can tell their IQ is very low. Because they're too stupid to even realize the need to hide their old videos, which tells the reality of what losers that they are, and you can see. So George Gammon, and I know for a fact, number one, that these videos didn't have this many views. He probably had some people go back and take a look at some older videos, but you can see, even still, he's got a few hundred views. He's trying to come across. He's doing, this Paul Gabriel, everything money. It's the same thing. And in fact, they both jumped on YouTube the same time period, right? The pandemic, they were both pitching real estate. They're rental boys, real estate, right? And it wasn't taken off. They weren't getting any pigeons. So what do? They started talking about the economy, stocks. See that? Look. It's not going anywhere, is it, George? So what does George do, being the scammer that he is? Well, he shifts the whole game. Okay? Here he's predicting a housing bubble. It's going to crash, he's telling you. Sorry, George, you're wrong, buddy. All these guys, frauds. And so now he gets into the whole clickbait. My investing principles, 3 steps to build wealth and thrive. I mean, you think that this guy knows about wealth? He's spending all his time on YouTube. He's trying to get wealth. But people are too stupid to use this basic line of reasoning. You people on YouTube watching this shit, you're falling for these people. You have serious issues. Something needs to happen. You need to do something for your life. Stay off the internet, or your life is going to be fucked forever, because there's something about you in your mind that you're falling prey to this whole scam scene on the internet. You need to stay off the internet. I don't think anything can help you. Just stay off the internet. Ray Dalio discovered his shocking new predictions. Yeah, Ray Dalio. Another fucking scam artist, by the way. Fucking clown. Which, by the way, Ray Dalio's still buying advertisements on YouTube for his little bullshit. His little bullshit video on his stupid book that basically he wrote, I don't know. He didn't write it, I can guarantee you that. None of these guys ever write any books. They're incapable. As I mentioned before, I believe he got Bridgewater involved in a lot of investments in China before COVID. That's why he got shown the exit door, by the way. Ray Dalio, you might have noticed, he wasn't really coming out into the public eye until he got the boot. He got fired. They told him to get the fuck out. Okay? And I think what's happening, he's trying to pump China because they're involved in a lot of Chinese investments. That's what I think. But this is a guy, Ray Dalio, who the media's going to tell you, well, he's an expert. He's a fucking clown. He's a clown. And he's telling you China's going to be the superpower. I mean, there's something has to be wrong with your fucking mind to even think a communist country is even remotely close to running anything. Especially a country that relies on theft like China and has for a long time. So he'd go with the Federal Reserve conspiracies, right? He's getting more into the economics, all this bullshit, and there his gold, right? Gradually, more and more, you see. And then he promotes this rebel capitalist, this guy, another fucking scam artist. He calls himself the uneducated economist. He sits in a car on his brakes. He works at Home Depot, this guy. And he sits in his car on his brakes and just rambles and waits for people to give him money, super chats. And it works. And of course, his audience is a bunch of like people that believe Peter Schiff and Jim Rickards, and Alex Jones and just stupid nonsense. Okay? The types of people who will never do well in life in anything, much less investments, because they're not in the stock market. They've been waiting for the stock market to collapse now for, 15 years. You see? That's that whole, there's a very large pool of these types of people. There's something mentally wrong with them. Now, I'm not saying that you're mentally debilitated if you fall for that in the beginning. Okay, you fall for it. But, okay, you've been falling for this now for how many years? And America hasn't gone bankrupt, and the dollar hasn't gone to zero, and the stock market's up 400%, and you're still not saying, wait a second, I've been fucking duped? You understand what I'm saying? Those are the people who are mentally ill. You all understand. So I just can't understand how people are this clearly, and I believe that almost everybody on Earth, I'm not going to say everybody, but I'm talking probably 98% of the world's population, and I'm not talking about people living in remote villages who have minimal access, although a lot of people in remote villages do have access to the internet. I'm just going to exclude remote areas, okay? I believe excluding those areas, about 98%, and that includes probably just about all you guys, are under mind control. You're under mind control and you don't realize it, because it's a very strange form of mind control. And it's because of the media apparatus. It's because of the media apparatus. In other words, the mind control I'm talking about, if you're paying attention to the media, and when I say media, we're not just talking about broadcast media, we're talking about social media, we're talking about ScamTube, all this shit. What's happening is you're getting talking points and you're being distracted. You understand? So before you notice, before you even realize it, all of a sudden you're saying, wait a second, how in the hell, how did I get focused on this, war in Israel? Or how am I focused on this whole, Biden crime family narrative, right? Because you're allowing yourself to be exposed constantly to the stupid nonsense that doesn't even really matter. So you don't even have control anymore of your thoughts, right? This is why I say you really need to disconnect from the internet. The more you disconnect from the internet, and that includes your dumb phone, the better off you're going to be. The more in control of your mind you're going to be. So, of course, he also promotes some more charlatans here. I've already told the truth about this Druckenmiller guy. Oh, Stanley Druckenmiller. He was the head fund manager at George Soros, and he has his own fund, Duquesne Management, $1 billion. Yeah, well, he had to shut his fund down several years ago due to poor performance, and he's become a gold pumper because you know why? He failed as an investor. He doesn't know how to invest. Hey, Stanley, all you should have done is bought my research several years ago. You could have bought and hold just Netflix, NVIDIA, and your hedge fund, Zoom. Okay? Rick Rule, now he's neck deep into the charlatan scene. Rick Rule, he's got that. Let's see, when does Robert Kiyosaki? Right. So you can see, just, it's very interesting. If you know these people, the players, it's just so obvious. You got Rick Rule here. They talk about Sprott. Notice he's calling him an investment legend. I talked about this a few days ago, how these guys, these scammers, will position these fringe people like Rick Rule, his fringe, Eric Sprott is fringe, and these guys they're very sleazy scumbags. In fact, I spoke with some people several years ago. Eric Sprott is fucking absolutely hated by his coworkers at his firm because and I was told this by a coworker, because he basically dumped his company, went public, and of course, his employees got shares, and the thing collapsed. And Eric Sprott is a pump and dump scam artist. Rick Rule's involved with the same kind of bullshit where they're basically doing. I've already explained the whole strategy. I'm not going to get into it, but my point is that it's funny because you're seeing how the scam is to tell you that these guys are investing legends. Therefore, you're going to line up and listen to what they have to say. You're going to want to piggyback on their investments. And what they do, typically with Rick Rule, Doug Casey, and you can see him down here. He's in that same fucking gang of charlatans promoting gold and all this other horse shit. What they'll do, you see, investing legend, is they promote these guys as investing legends. And so the stupid idiots out there who don't have the ability or understand the necessity to truly assess someone's credibility. Why are they a legend? Because you trust George Gammon? Well, that's your first problem right there. You're trusting a fucking failed real estate agent, scam artist. So what happens is that once you think that they're an investing legend, they'll tell you how, and I don't know that George Gammon is involved in this. He may be, but I know for a fact that other people do this. They'll tell you how, oh, well, this penny stock, it's a penny stock, some resource company, it's got a market cap of like 50 million or whatever. They'll tell you how it's such a great company, and they'll have the CEO on there, and they'll tell you how Doug Casey's investing in it. Legendary investors like Rick Rule and Eric Sprott and Doug Casey, they own the stock. And so the dummies will say, oh, okay, well, they're legendary. Oh, okay, I'm going to buy it too because they own it. Okay, notice they're focusing on penny stocks. Why? Because they're easy to manipulate. You understand? You'll never hear these guys, these resource guys tell you, they'll say, Newmont Mining is a great company, right? That's the only gold company I'd ever buy. Well, there's one I bought a long time ago. That was a small cap, but it wasn't a penny stock promoting bullshit, and it did quite well. It got fivefold return, but that was in 2001, 2002. But my point is, that's what they do. It's kind of like what some of these trading guys do. These stock trading guys, what they'll do is they get enough people, and in fact, this one Jeremy guy, I think he was doing this. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I believe he may have been involved in doing this, where you get enough people in your little group and you pitch these stocks, and they're penny stocks, and you tell, okay, I think this is a great company. I think this is going to double or triple. And because the penny stock, it's not that difficult to make it run. You tell your lemmings this, and they buy it, and then they buy it, the stock goes up, and then you dump it. You see? So a lot of these guys do that. And of course, you can see, Kyle Bass here. Kyle Bass predicts HSBC collapse. Well, sorry, Kyle. Lynette Zhang, she's a newer player of the gold pumping scam scene. Complete horseshit. This lady is so fucking stupid. She's still talking about hyperinflation. That whole fucking thing, just come on. Even Peter Schiff doesn't mention that anymore. It was such a fucking failed narrative. So you can just go through, and I suggest that you do that. I suggest you do go through these scammers, and Mark Faber, of course, another player. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see Andrew Henderson on here as well. Steve Keen, he's one of these guys that claims he predicted the financial crisis, which the claim is such a fucking joke. Maybe I'll do a video on it sometime, and I'll just go ahead and give you the rundown from what I've seen. So Steve Keen is some like economist guy who I think he wrote some paper about too much debt, credit or something in the 90s or something. And from that, he claims to have predicted the financial crisis. I kid you not. I'm not even fucking kidding. So, these guys, these economists, they can't. Why don't you email the guy? Email Steve Keen. I don't have any knowledge to think that he's like in on the gold pumping scene or any of that shit. I don't think that he is. I haven't seen anything, but he's going to go ahead and be interviewed by anybody just to get promotion, publicity, which I would refuse to do that. I will not be interviewed by anybody who is, some fucking scammer promoting scammers on their channel. No fucking way. You know why? Because birds with a feather always flock together. Okay. Email Steve Keen. Email him my links to the financial crisis, the 2 chapters, and ask him what he thinks. I predicted it. I'm the only one that truly predicted it. Okay? Ask him. Of course, Peter Schiff makes the rounds, right? This guy is also from the gold pumping scene, the boiler room pseudo research, where they're actually kind of stock promoters and I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know every person on this list, but I'm confident that every single one of them, with rare exception, I don't know that I don't think I would call Steve Keen like a scam artist, right? I wouldn't say that. So he's probably one of the few exceptions. That's why I say almost every single, and I hate to say that there's exceptions because everyone thinks that they got the exception. That's why I hate to say that. So I can guarantee you on all these channels of these scammers, over 99% are scammers. Okay. So like, I don't know a lot of these people, but I'll guarantee you with 99.5% certainty that the guys that I don't even know are scammers, because it's obvious why. Okay. And this is a trend that you'll notice. This is why once you become more familiar with these people, you'll have a better understanding, and you'll be able to spot more and more. You're like, oh, okay. And here you go, Lynn Alden, complete scam artist, positioning herself or himself, I'm not quite sure which one, as some type of expert that provides research to institutions. That's a complete fucking lie. She has no experience, has no qualifications, no track record, no nothing. Basically, some failure who decides and basically she's promoted because she's promoting all this cryptocurrency bullshit. And she's on the Raoul Pal bandwagon with Raoul Pal, who's a complete scam artist. Okay. I mean, this is fucking boilerplate. Here you go. Jeffrey Gunlock, right? There you go. I expose his track record. Jim Rogers, there you go. I mean, Robert Kiyosaki. I mean, folks, you may be wondering, do I have a crystal ball? Maybe I do when it comes to certain things, huh? What do you think? Huh? When it comes to predicting the behavior and the associations of scam artists, yep, I probably do. Okay. Another gold pumping scammer. You just go through the list here. I mean, hell, we're still on 4 years. My God, you see that? So let's go to the latest. And so he pulls out his little whiteboard like he's he's a teacher. Oh, I'm going to show you this. I mean, folks, you know, I don't know what to say. I mean, the problem is that most of these people on YouTube that are stupid, the problem is they're going to stay stupid. They think that they're learning. I'm learning so much. No, you're not learning anything that's going to help you in life. In fact, what you're learning is actually going to hurt you. Okay, so what you need to do is shut down the internet and get a real education. Okay, get a real education. Hedge fund manager. Yeah, this guy's about the same hedge fund manager as probably Patrick Boyle. Okay. So it's the same song and dance. I mean, this is predictable. terms of getting back as an investor, if it's coming down to here, almost irrespective of what's going on, I have to believe, if I have to make a call in advance, and of course I can change depending on what happens, but I have to believe this is where you want to start doing that 18, 17, around there. Their earnings report is a complete game changer, at least for quite a while. Bottom line, NVIDIA now is going to enter the realm of Tesla, Apple, and all these other big, I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works. I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works.